morning, Mary Robinette.
Good morning. How can I help?
I would like to ask you a few questions about the novel that I'm reading.
Okay.
As a parent, I saw a lack of parenting novels in the science fiction space, and I wanted to write a science fiction novel from the parent's point of view. I also have a child who plays a competitive sport and was like asking the question of what if a child does in the competitive sport had world-altering consequences. So the premise I came up with was I made up a sport where they play in altered gravity, and the thought is if your child is good at this, then they're also a good astronaut kid.
Right.
So I'm running into a couple of problems because I feel like my personal experience enables me to write about being a parent. The sports part is a fun part to write, but one is the science fiction. It's not something I've written for a while. My thought is they need astronauts because they need to leave the planet to find other planets because of more general issues like overpopulation, running out of resources. But I don't want that to be the main conflict for two reasons. One, I think it's a pretty common conflict, and two is I want it to focus more on the kid's relationship. So the kid's relationship with the parent. So my question is, how much do you think I need to include of the we need to get off the planet?
I would say that I would look at reasons to get off the planet that can help you illuminate what's going on with the mom. Running out of resources is one pressure, but you can also have it be a financial thing, where you've got a Elon Musk type character, just that the universe is, the galaxy's expanding or whatever, and they need people to work in space. It's not so much that they need people for exploration or to fight off an alien invasion, but just need people with a certain caliber of stuff. It could be even reality TV related, where there's a lot of money that goes into it, which is not the way it is with real astronauts.
I'm thinking backing off that. How much research, I know it's personal, would you recommend I do about this as I'm writing the novel, or is it okay to write the parts I want to write and then go research and fill in the details later for that?
The way I usually approach that is that I divide research into kind of two areas. There's plot research and decorative research. So plot research is anything that is going to affect the plot. The distance between two places. If I'm planning on having transit happen, I need to know what the transit time is going to be because that's going to affect the plot. But, this is the training routine that they did. Unless something is going to go wrong with the training, if it's just a set and you can switch, that's decorative at that point. I put on my type of helmet in square brackets. So I would say do broad stroke research and then narrow in as you're going. Maybe read in parallel with your leisure reading is all the time. I keep going back to your other thing about how much detail to have. If your main character is never going to try to solve these problems, I think that you need just enough there that the reader is like, oh yeah, no, I see that why that's happening. Not a huge amount of detail. Like, why do sports happen in general? I don't know. I care.
Then the other issue I'm running into is I've had a few people read the first few chapters, and what they say is that the daughter's plot's well developed, but the mom is coming across as something I take a little personally. My life isn't that exciting, but there's a few ways I could take it. I could make mom more exciting in her job. I could the relationship quotient, but I guess the question is, how exciting does mom have to be? Can it be a cozier conflict, or does it have to be like, if the daughter is going to be the chosen one, does mom have to also be ready to save the world tomorrow?
If the daughter saving the world is going to happen in the book, then the mom, I would, as a reader, want to see the mom having some hand in that. But if the daughter is not going to save the world in the book, if it's, you're the chosen one, and this is a thing that's going to happen for you when you get older, then then focusing on the what it's just parenting the cozier ones seems like a way you can go. I think the daughter saving the world, I think you have to figure out what mechanically she's doing there to answer a lot of the other questions that you have. Like, why do they need astronauts? Would need to be tied to that. Why the mom is, at what point does the mom become aware that her daughter is the chosen one? And actually that can be a character conflict in and of itself. If the mom realizes, oh, I'm raising the chosen one, that's going to cause a huge self-definition. So if she does have something that she wants to do that she feels like she has to set aside because of the child, it doesn't have to be a world changing. It's still the loss of self-identity can be the driver of that.
That's very helpful. Got some stuff to think about. It was like drafting this novel. So I appreciate your time here, Robinette.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Did just have a thought, though, about your astronauts.
Okay.
It doesn't solve everything, but I'm just going to mention it. In our world, the cleanest path to being an astronaut is to become a military pilot. If you've got a world that does not have an active military, or if the pilots, it's all drone stuff, if then the cleanest path to becoming an astronaut is sports. You don't necessarily at that point need pressure from off the world for the sports can exist on its own, and kids who want to go into to be an astronaut can be like, well, this is where I got to be, separately from the sports ball itself. Okay. Hey, good luck. It sounds cool.
Thanks.